storm, we are free from bondage, free from harm. Chain breakers, that's who we are. Free from depression, suppression and oppression. Generational chain breakers. When we move, we are atmosphere shifters. Building legacies for families, paving the way for a destiny.
Well, tonight we got two incredible ladies on tonight for the Rise Up Wealth Summit show, pre-show. Listen, I got none other than Genevieve Carvil Harris and Ginger Coutain. Listen, these two ladies are packing fire and heat tonight, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So either one you can start off, but tell us about yourself.
Go ahead, Ginger.
Really, sister? Really?
I mean, okay, fine. I'll go. I just try not to be first all the time. Okay. That's my sister. So whatever she says, go. Hi, everybody. I am Genevieve Carvil Harris, the world's favorite capacity building strategist. Go Game Changers. Where is it? There it is. And I'm just excited to be here tonight in this capacity. If you have not come to Rise Up, if you have not been a part of Legacy, let me tell you something, you have been missing out, but it's okay. That's what we're here for, to let you know what's coming. We're packing the heat and the passion. I help individuals with their trademarks. I help them with their 501c3s and how to move their business from being just blah to profitable and sustainable. So that is what I do. I'm so excited to be here tonight with my family.
Exactly. Hello, everybody. So it is Ginger Coutain. What do I do? Let me see.
What do you not do?
Right. That's the whole thing. So I would consider myself a serial CEO and a master of luxury real estate over Ginger Sells Luxury, the brand. So what I do is that I primarily get people to think differently and think wealth, and not to just think that wealth is financial, because wealth is so many things in your life, from emotional, spiritual, psychological. And you have to master those before you can actually master the financial aspect. So I allow people and I help people elevate to the next level by really focusing on who they are and finding the wealth in their lives. And I am a youth advocate, one of the things to my core of my life. And I am one of the curators of the Rise Up Youth with my sister, Miss Genevieve, Coach Jen. And we are looking forward to seeing all of you and all of your kids, so that we can teach them how to elevate to the next level.
Absolutely.
In a nutshell.
So it's kind of funny, you started off with the whole aspect of about the event. Tell us more about the event. If someone's coming on tonight, watching for the first time, seeing Genevieve talking about the event when she first came on, what exactly is this Rise Up Wealth Summit and the kids and all that good stuff? Who's it for?
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I think that Rise Up is for the individual who knows that there is something greater for them. They know that they are much, much greater. You see how the train is going by me? They know they're on the train to success, but they don't know where to go. They don't know where to stop. They don't know who's conducting. They don't know who's attending. And so with Rise Up, what we do is we come together in a summit format. So that means that there's going to be multiple speakers. There's going to be all of this information in the room. And we don't anticipate that everybody's going to get everything, right? What I love about Rise Up is that there's enough information for you to pick and choose what it is that resonates with you, so that you can actually implement those things in your life and then see plans executed. We don't like to just talk. Rising Up has a lot more to do than just showing up. You have to show up and do something. And that is what Rise Up Wealth Summit is about, putting you in the right room with the right people, and then making sure that you get the right information that you can eat from all year long and figure out what your plan for life is.
Excellent. The same thing goes to you, Ginger.
So for me, the experience with Rise Up, as you know, I always say children are the core of my heart. So my experience with Rise Up was, I'm really big on the word elevate. And so when you have children that are looking to do better, looking to do bigger, one of the things that we took from Rise Up was that we started realizing that we do have, our youth, that they want to be business owners. They want to learn entrepreneurship. They want to, curate just a life for themselves that is not the normal. So one of the things is that, creating goals that are unattainable, and to some people, but allowing or enabling someone to use all of their resources and utilize, like Genevieve said, everyone in the room to their advantage. Not taking advantage, but utilizing every resource to their advantage, and learning how to collaborate. Learning how to not judge a book by its cover, because the cover of that book might be, once you open it up, might be the next level of the next chapter in your life. Mm-hmm. So, being in the room at Rise Up, and when I first attended, of course, it was kind of by default. I was invited, and then I started realizing, hey, they have a lot of information. And then, Glenn, you just were like, hey, Ginger, are you going to come aboard? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so walking in the room, and I'm able to teach a room full of children that when they utilize social media, do they really understand what social media is and the doors that social media opens up for them? It allows them to rise up in every facet of their life, to where their parents don't have to take care of them, and it's just one snap away. Yeah. So it was a phenomenal feeling to watch our youth actually sit down and create a full business plan, and to actually tell us what they would need to get to the next level of their business. So just me being able to do that along with dynamic people, it helped me elevate to a different level.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So for me, the event was it was excellent. But when we look back at everything, and like people ask this question a lot, what does legacy truly mean to you? I know both of you ladies, especially Ginger, she's building a legacy through her businesses, her entrepreneurship endeavors, real estate. What does generational wealth mean to you guys? And why it's so important, especially for us as in this community?
So I would say generational wealth is exactly what it is. Because you guys both know that I'm very straightforward. So one of the things I feel like where we have to really hone in on generational wealth is understanding what you want to leave your legacy as. What is your legacy? Identifying what you want for your family and their families and more families to come. Not leaving clothes and bags and shoes and things that tear up over time, but actually leaving, I've seen a meme, trusts, deeds, LLCs, INCs, stocks, dividends, understanding that there are so many different things that you can leave for your family, insurance policies. Yep. True wealth of, if I die tomorrow, would my family scramble to bury me? I don't believe in, hey, if I leave tomorrow, my family has to have a fish fry and sell t-shirts. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. Now, while I'm here, I can do my due diligence to make sure that my children's children will always have something to look forward to and something that's tangible. However, though, if you put wealth in the hands of someone who's not educated, then you've just thrown it away. I love to use, when I was in college, I did a report on the Hilton family, right? And sometimes we look at it and say, hey, they just were given a silver spoon, but you don't think about the one person who started that generational wealth, that unlocked that door to say, hey, this is where the buck stops for my family. I don't care about what's going on in anybody else's family, but this is where the buck stops for my family, because I know what I want for my family. It has nothing to do about race, socioeconomic status, because I know some people that make just the low income, and they probably have saved more money than some people with higher incomes, because they have the knowledge, they have the discipline, the tenacity, and then they pray. Let's not forget prayer. They pray because they know you got to have God at the center of everything. And this is not a religious show, but however, we're just going to keep it real. If you don't have that at the center of your family, and then understanding too that not all times are going to be good, but roll with the punches and understand that when you're building a generational wealth, right, Glenn, we all know that you have to do so many different things and master so many different areas of your life and of yourself. Like me, I can lay around and say, oh, I'm not doing this today. But I know that my children's children won't benefit from me laying down and taking a break. So as long as God has given me air to breathe, my lungs that function, my eyes that can see, my ears that can hear, my brain that can comprehend, my feet that can walk, my mouth that can talk, I'm going to do my due diligence and do everything that I possibly can so that, you know how they say rest in peace, so that my soul can rest in peace when I'm watching my generations after generations after generations after generations live and just, you know, live their best life. And I feel like that's the way to go. And not only with that, I'm a Black woman living in America. Let's be honest here. So when I stamp my name of approval on a piece of paper, and then I know that when I pass that on, or they can go to the estate firms, they understand what probate is. They understand what all of these things is. They understand that, hey, my great, 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 great grandma, she left all these things for me. My soul is at rest. My soul is at peace. My soul would be at peace. So for me, that's what a generational legacy, that's what generational wealth is. That my soul can rest because I laid the foundation so that my family will never have to suffer ever.
Yeah.
Now, with that one, I think also comes mindset, doesn't it too? Mindset.
Oh yeah, mindset is everything. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to change your mindset to be in millionaire status every day of your life.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you have to have $1 million at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you think, when you think about something, that's what you are, right?
Yeah,
And all
absolutely.
of these things are written in a good book.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I think that I'm poor, what do you think is going to happen? I am going to be poor. If I
Mm-hmm.
get up every day and I think that I'm already rich and I'm already speaking and I'm clarifying it, I'm putting it down and making it plain. That's what it is. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week. But eventually, because my mind has already curated that picture and that image, I am going to make it. So absolutely, mindset is everything.
Mm-mm. Definitely.
What I remember also is that I remember I heard somebody say once, they said in the Black families normally that the baby in the family and the eldest person in the family unfortunately tend to end up with the same thing. And it
Mhm.
troubled me. It troubled me that they were saying most Black families, if they look at their oldest member in their family and the youngest member in their family who was just born, um, when it happened, who's echoing me?
Not too sure.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't hear it. So
Right.
that's
Okay,
it
go
may
ahead.
just mute while the others are talking. That may just be helpful. Yeah. So that's what I was doing anyways. See, this is first of all, anytime you see us, we're helping you rise up as well. If you are going to use the platform, sometimes if you notice that you're hearing other things, you just self-correct. Like we're not hiding anything from you all. This is what it is. We work. That's why we're so different because we rise up even as we teach you all. Hello. So what he was saying was that children sometimes and the oldest adults have the same thing because the eldest adults have not done enough to leave something when they depart the earth, so they end up leaving with the same amount that they came in the world with, which is nothing, right? And that is what we're talking about when we start talking about breaking chains in the generation. We're saying, listen, guys, we have to do better because nobody's coming to save us. If there's going to be something different, we have to be the ones that set a different trend. We have to be the ones that start. And that's why for us, I'm so glad that we don't just focus on the adults. We reach back, Ginger and I, at any point in time. We just had a function where Glenn and Ginger and myself, we were actually speaking at the Signature Grand in Davie, and we were addressing everything that we wish someone would have told us at their age. Why do we think that we should make children struggle because we struggle? No, we got to tell them something earlier. And so at Rise Up, the reason why you need to make sure that even if you don't want to come, that you register your kids, that you register your nieces and your nephews that will be playing games all day. The reason why is because we can help them monetize the things that they love, monetize the things that they spend all their time on, and not knowing that they're really going to be setting off something in their generation to change the way that money is viewed, to change the way that wealth is viewed. And so that is what we do at Rise Up. And that is why you should be there, because we're not just selling an experience. The truth of the matter is, we are going to excel whether you're there or not. And Glenn is probably like, oh my God, we don't let Coach Jen start. But what I'm telling you is we've got to start putting ourselves in the proper places and in the proper rooms, because the people that are coming to speak to you, the people that are pouring themselves out to you have already achieved. We're not in the room to achieve. We're in the room because this is a part of our legacy to pour into you and to make sure that if we know better, that we're doing better and each one reach one. And if we can just keep multiplying those who have the knowledge, Rise Up is not about gatekeeping. We're not trying to make sure that we have all of the information. You don't know what to do. We want to transfer that information. We believe in wealth transfer. We want to transfer that information over to you so that you can live your best life as well and break generational curses in your family too. Yeah.
Sister, that was good. That was good. Oh, that was good. That was good. And when you said that part, the first thing came to me, you know how we like to say, you know, you got to push and you have to push. And what does push stand for? You have to pray until something happens. Well, I like to replace that P for me, and I like to say position. I love to say position yourself until something happens, because we can pray all day, but faith without works is dead. And I was literally at church 2 weeks ago, and one of the things that he commented on was, you can have, everybody has raw power and raw potential, but you have to actually work your potential to make those things happen that you want to happen. So I totally agree with you on, even if you don't want to come to Rise Up, have your children in the building. We will provide our contact information, or Glenn, you can provide it, so that if you don't feel comfortable, I will walk down and get your child, because I am looking forward to teaching your child how to elevate to the next level. There's no such thing as, oh, when your child gets 18, you need to put them out of the house. Put them out of the house to do what? Have you positioned them to win? Have you laid down a foundation so that they understand the fundamentals for them to be successful? Have you laid down the foundations for yourself? Because if you can't lay the foundations down for yourself, there is no way possible, if you're not allowing your children to be taught by someone who can, that they're going to, at 18 years old, going to succeed, unless they position themselves. And parents, you have to position your children. As parents, we have to position our children, or place our children in a position to where they can gain that knowledge so that they can elevate to the next level or rise up and build wealth. Wealth doesn't have an age group. I just read the other day, a young lady, and my son watches her story on YouTube. This baby is making millions of dollars by doing play shows with her father in a playground on YouTube. She can't spend that money. She don't know how to write a check. So I really hope that her parents have the knowledge, or someone that's knowledgeable enough to make sure that her money is not in vain. That the things that she is loving to do now as a baby to us, that she'll have some generations of wealth, because she's building wealth now. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's still in elementary school or of that age. So you think about it, if you're in 3rd, 4th grade and you're making millions of dollars already, by the time you're 18 years old, if you structure or position your child accordingly, your child will never have to want or be hungry another day in their life. Just another day in their life. So you can pray all day. And I'm praying. I'm a praying woman. We all pray. You can pray all day. But if you don't get up and do anything about it, guess what? They just prayers. Because I got faith. I know God can do all that he say he can do. But he also didn't say, hey, Ginger, keep laying down and see, because some gonna just fall in your lap. No, he didn't say that. I got to work. Parents, we got to work. If you don't want to work, give your child an opportunity. And another thing, stop allowing the woes of the world to dictate where your child is going. And what I mean by that is that stop having that mindset because someone else didn't do it, that your child cannot do it. If your child comes and tell you, hey, mommy or daddy, I want to be the next president of the United States, don't shoot that child down and tell them, oh, well, you're not going to be able to do that. Why not? Do you think that Barack Obama parents really thought that he would be the president of the United States of America with a black wife in the White House? Absolutely not. However, we just saw history, right? We just saw it happen. Did you ever think that we would have a woman as a vice president? No. But guess what? We just saw it happen. It's happening right now. So we got to stop shooting down our children's dreams and stop telling our youth that something is impossible, because everything is possible. There's no such thing as, if you look at the phonetics of impossible, right? And we all can spell, and if we can't spell, I'm going to help you. Impossible, IMPOSSIBLE. When you break that down, what does that spell? I'm possible, right? When you break it down, I'm possible. But when you say it, it's impossible. But instead, tell your child, break that word down, baby. I'm possible. My son is 6 years old, and anytime he tells me he wants to do anything, you know what I do? I always say, okay, you sure can. I'm excited. And I call him Boo Bear. I'm glad he's still little, because if not, he will kill me. And I say all the time, Boo Bear, you sure can. I'm excited. I can't wait. Because that we're not in this house, we're not shooting down our children's dreams. And I see it a lot. And it's still happening. Some people be, oh, that happened in the old days. No. It's still happening. Some parents don't understand because they didn't have the experience. Because you didn't have the experience, give your children the experience for them to rise up. So you absolutely want to position your children until something happens with Rise Up. So when you position your child for the Rise Up Wealth Summit, break every word down. Rise Up Wealth Summit. Those some serious words. When you rise, you elevate. When you up, you up. When you wealth, it's wealth. Wealth is not just about what's in your pocket. Wealth is about here. You can have a wealth of knowledge. You can have a heart that's wealthy, a plan that's wealthy. In your hands, you have wealth. In your family, because of the love you have wealth. So we rising up with the wealth. And then when you have a summit, you have a conglomerate of individuals. And you coming together for one purpose: to learn, to educate, to elevate. Because I'm possible. Everything my name touch, I'm possible. Why do you think when we born, they say, here go your birth certificate? Are you going to name that child? Now, baby that leaves out of the hospital, leaves, say, oh, this is baby X. You have to have a name, right? You have to have a name, a first name and a last name. You think this just happening because of coincidence, parents? No, it's not. They're saying name that child because only that child has that name. Your DNA belongs to one person. So you're going to tell me the way God constructed this beautiful, beautiful being, every time he tailored each and every one of us, you're going to tell me that we're not possible to rise up and build wealth and come together in a summit so that we can elevate to the next level? You're not going to tell me that. And you're not going to tell me if you could take a baby and a baby comes out the womb, you have to cradle the baby in your arms, right? The next couple of months, that baby learns how to walk, how to crawl, correct? After a little bit, that baby learns how to pull up, right? And then in a little bit, once that baby's pulling up, that baby's realizing, okay, I could take a couple of steps. to the next level. Now, when that baby's taking a couple of steps to the next level, next thing you know, that baby's walking. Now, once that baby's walking, that baby's talking. And now once that baby's talking, that baby's taking it in. So through all those developmental phases, you have the opportunity to implant greatness in that baby. Because ignorance is a taught behavior. It is not, it's learned by more ignorance.
Listen.
So parents, our job is to not allow the ignorance of the world to infiltrate the minds of our youth. And if it requires for you to remove yourself and give your child an opportunity to rise up and build wealth and be in a summit, then that's what you need to do. So that's the reason why I always position myself to build up our youth. I love adults. I'm an adult. However, I don't want children to make some of the mistakes I made in my younger years. And I should have known better. And I came from great parents, was raised by my grandparents. Thank you, Lord. However, it's still some stuff they didn't know, but you know what they did? They positioned me so that I can take my butt to school and so I can surround myself with the right people so that I learn how to read books, how to build wealth, how to define what wealth looks like for me.
Absolutely. I need to say something, sister.
Absolutely, sister. Because you know I get fired up when I hear about that.
No, but I love it. I got to tell them about my nephew because we practice what we preach.
Of course.
So we were meeting about Rise Up and about what it is that we're getting ready to do. And what ended up happening was we went to a smoothie place because I was juicing. I'm about to go back, but I was juicing at the top of the year, just trying to cleanse and I was rising up. Okay. That's what was happening. I was getting my own rise up together. And so we went to a juice bar and I clearly am going to buy my nephew something to drink. Well, my nephew says, no, I don't want auntie to buy me anything to drink. I got my own money. Okay. She just told you how old he is. Okay. He's 6. She said, well, auntie gonna pay for it today. How about you just let auntie pay for it today? And he was so angry. He was so upset because he had his own money and he wanted Glenn to buy his own stuff. He did not want Auntie Jen to buy his stuff. Okay, well, come to find out, we go and we sit down. And when we sit down, we realize that the people forgot his order. So they got our order. They brought out my smoothie. They brought out his mama food. He is nowhere to be found. Any other child would have been excited. I mean, would have been sad. Glenn, like, what about mine? What happened? Oh, no, not my nephew. He's excited. He's excited because he hears that he has another opportunity to what? Buy his own stuff. So he says, I said, well, you want to come in here and buy it now? And I told my sister, I said, I'm just going to send you the money. Let's just let him have this experience. So he goes in, and now at this point, and I just want y'all to know how serious we take teaching young people what it is to acquire wealth and manage it well. So now he has to go into the juice bar again with me. And now he has to order. He has to tell the people what he wants. He has to pay now for what it is that he said that he wants. And so he looked up at me and he said, he takes out his money. And I'm telling him, okay, well, look at what they're telling you it costs. And you got to pay out what they're telling you. And he looked, after he paid for it, Glenn, he looks at me. He still got his money in his hand. I said, well, baby, you got to put your money away. He said, auntie, I'm just trying to figure out how I got to be so rich so young. He said, I'm just trying to figure out how I got to be
Glenn,
so
you know she's talking about sunshine. You already know this little boy.
He said, I'm just trying to figure out how I got to be so rich so young. And he got all his dollars together. And it tickled me so much, but it's what we can do. The fact that his frame of reference of wealth is going to be that I can build it and I can keep it and I can use what I build to get what I want It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to be able, there's so many things that are going to be open to him, so many doors that are going to be open to him because he's gotten it this early, which means that he's not going to be walking through life looking for handouts. He's going to be trying to figure out how he can build. He sits in the meetings with us. We don't know what his note says, but he makes us repeat things because he wants to write down what we said. I'm sorry, I missed that one. Can you say it again? And we look over at his little notepad and we don't know what he just wrote, but it don't even matter. It's the fact that and if he saw a word that he hadn't heard before, he had us spelling out sponsor for him. He said, I never heard that word before. What's that? What's a sponsor? And it's a teachable moment. We got to stop letting the world and society and social media teach our kids how to act and then get mad when all they know how to do is achieve a TikTok video. I'm glad that you know the latest TikTok dance, but do you know where your life is going? And if college is not it, that's okay too. But what is your path? And we can't keep letting people who don't have a path or have the right mindset for our young people lead the way. Everybody can enjoy a concert. We like to go. My husband took me to go see Tank because he know I like Tank. Took me to go see Tank, and it was a bunch of R&B people together, and he took me to see that because I like the music. But if you think I'm sitting around all day letting Tank tell me how to build wealth, Tank cares about Tank wealth. Tank cares about what's going to make him money. He don't care about what's going to make Genevieve money. So Genevieve has to take a very active approach in what's going to bring me to a place that I rise up and be great. And we got to do better. We just have to do better. And we work on that to do that with our young people.
Listen, you talked about something a while ago that made me go back to one of the questions I was going to talk about, because guess what? The two of you guys are like the entrepreneur queens of South Florida. We got a mastermind brain of Genevieve, and then we have an executor. The one who executes is Shay. She just get up there and go move it. So can you share the importance of cultivating entrepreneur mindset in the context of legacy building? How do you see entrepreneurship contributing to generational success? Like all that good soup, that good black rice. I hate that good mixture.
Yeah. I think that in this day and this time, and you know, me and sis and you, Glenn, we talk about this all the time. The world is changing. There was a time where all you had to do was go get a college degree and it would change the dynamics of the way that you live. That is no longer the case. You need to know how you can solve people's problems, and you need to build a business around solving people's problems so that you can start to pass down that generational wealth. A lot of people who are financially secure did have somebody going before them and making a path where they could line up, even if they didn't want to be the one that ran the store, even if they didn't want to be the one that ran the laundromat. They were living off of the wealth of what somebody else had done, which allowed for them to finance what their dream is. Even if your child does not know or your family does not know what it is that they're going to do, the least you can do is make sure that everybody in your family has good credit profiles, that everybody in your family knows and has life insurance. We know that the people in our family are going to die. So we should be doing better about making sure that the eldest in the family is insured. Everybody can chip in. Whoever chips in can be a part of the beneficiaries of when that payment is achieved. But we got to put ourselves in positions where we're ahead of the game, because life is going to keep life in. But if we don't position, like my sister said, if we don't position ourselves and say, you know what, death is going to be sad, but we sure will be happy if death brought $100,000, if death brought $200,000, that we could now turn into something that can flip our money. You don't really know that you have money until your money making money. That's the truth of it. So you have to try to figure out, how do I build my intellectual property? How do I own my names? How do I own my trademarks? How do I own what I do in the world? Like, how do you do that? And I think that that's the positioning that we're talking about tonight, making sure that you put yourself in a position where generational wealth is not just something that you talk about, but it's what you're living.
That was it.
Whew.
That was it. That was
Whew.
it.
Whew.
That was it. And I definitely agree to piggyback off what Sis said, which was perfect. Something else that I would say to do that, as far as correlating the entrepreneurial spirit with building a legacy is, starting young. And what I mean by starting young is, for example, if you're in a relationship, right? And you know that this relationship it has a possibility of moving forward into a possible marriage or long term or whatever it is, however you define it, it does not matter. It's up to you. And now if you involve children, sit down, have that conversation, have that game plan. Like Sis said, I've been seeing a lot being in the real estate industry and being around it for a long time. You have a lot of people that own so many different things and they don't know they own it until someone's taking it. Also, too, change your mindset about actual money and the value of money and what that means. And so elaborate on that, for example, and I've been seeing this a lot and I don't like it, but what can we do about it? We cannot save everybody. If your grandparents bought a house back in God knows how long, and they bought the house and their mortgage probably was $50 a month, right? So by the time you become an adult, that house is paid for 3-4 times. Now, they're died. Your parents are probably older now. They're sick because we all must go at one day. Understand that when these investors, because I'm an investor myself and I'm speaking very transparently, if an investor approaches you, I want you to value the hard work of your ancestors. And what I mean by that is that they didn't understand what being an entrepreneur was. But you can take any circumstance in someone's life or anything that you might do and make that into a business. So back in the day when it was practically impossible for them to, quote unquote, have a business of their own, you did have a very few that had multi-million-dollar businesses. We never will find out, though, until much later in this life, right? So stop. I want our communities to stop looking at the dollar now, right now before you, and start thinking of how many dollars will you have before you if you just hold on to your assets. Your grandparents and they have if you're in a neighborhood, and then real estate it appreciates, right? This is just what it is in real estate. Understand, if you have a home, that home is paid for. That land is paid for. And you need to put a roof on it. Guess what? Put the roof on it. Don't allow an investor to come up and take what your ancestors have built and passed down. Because let me just be quite frank, right? And a lot of real estate people going to be real mad at me, and I don't care because I do the same thing, right? Is that by the time the investors come to you, they've already did their homework. They already know, because let me tell you something. They're not just coming to you because, they just want to be such a noble person and really help you out and put you in something else. No, they're coming to you because they know that this land is free and clear. They know already that you probably don't have the knowledge, and they know already it's like dangling that carrot in front of the rabbit. They already know if I come up and offer you, if you live in this area where $100,000 may sound like a lot of money, even though we all know in these days and times it is not. And they dangle $100,000 in front of you, and you pretty much throw away the entire legacy of everything your ancestors worked for. And now they take that same land, that same home, and they go sell it to the bank and probably quadruple, because they have the tools, and the only thing you probably had to do was make a phone call to somebody.
Talking good tonight.
You probably only had to get on the phone with a lawyer and get some advice. I think our people, we get to the point where we're so stricken, and it's not just our people. When I say our people, I mean society, right? Sometimes we just get to the point where we allow our circumstances in our tough times to really detour us from what could be great times. It's just that you got to go through the fire a little bit. You got to burn a little bit. It's okay, but you're not going to burn up. It's not going to happen. So when you think about the entrepreneurial spirit, when your baby want to sell candy when they're young, oh hey, I'm gonna get some candy or some snacks, and I'm gonna go sell it to my friends at school, right? Just like Boo Bear with his money in his wallet and want to let Auntie Jen pay for his stuff, and he wanted to take notes. You know why? Because every day when he sits down, he understands branding already. He knows what passing out business cards is already. He understands what being nice to you and speaking to people. He understands how to hold them and to fold them. He only 6. He will ask you, hey, here's a card if you need to buy a house. He's 6. He's 6. He knows what company his father owns, what company his father works for. He knows which company I own, which company I work for. He's 6. He even know what the logos are.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying it. He's 6.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we want to just only put up, sit them in front of the TV
Oh no, we don't.
and let them watch something and it's goo goo gaga.
Yeah, we can't do
No, why can't they learn about dividends and stocks
absolutely.
and market and high yield interest and what the banks really do? And we're gonna get some stocks over here and what these stocks gonna do for you in the long run. And son, we're gonna get a life insurance policy just in the event something happens, so you can understand it. We're gonna give you the phone numbers as well.
Yeah.
Even if we have to write them down and put them on the wall, you call this number.
And that's speaking of calling numbers, sister. They need to know what the numbers are so that they can go ahead and register. So
Exactly.
we want y'all to make sure that you are coming. Parents,
Yep.
I know we were selling out. We was talking trash a little bit. But the truth of the matter is that we really would like for you to come because you can't just build generational wealth and then
No.
your family isn't there together. So we really want you to come. Our early bird general admission is only $95. Honey, you spend more than $95 at the grocery store. We're talking about changing the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll have access to the summit day. Lunch is provided. And honey, if you were there last year, you already know we have actual lunch. This is not a little sandwich.
Hot food.
Legacy
Because I
is
don't like sandwiches, FYI.
no. We have a beautiful swag bag because Glenn never talks about the company, but we have Extraordin, and the creation company does amazing swag work. So I am doing a shameless
Yes.
plug. If you would like your awards, if you would like your promotional items, then you need to come over to Extraordin Creations. But the swag bag is actually going to be created, and you're going to have that, and then you'll have downloadable content from all of the speakers, and of course your event parking. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
VIPs, everybody knows my preference is for everybody to be VIP as much as you can because VIPs sit with VIPs. And so when you see someone was willing to invest, you need to get around like-minded individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we have private networking. Wouldn't you like to speak with us and others? We have backstage passes. There's a VIP dinner, honey, because lunch is just not enough apparently for the VIPs. But you know you're a little hungry.
Mm-mm.
So go ahead and come on. We'll take it. It's 197. I'm telling you, we really, really have priced these things in a way that it makes sense for you to really
Mm-hmm.
take advantage of it early. And then look at this. We've done all this teaching. You already know that me and my sister Ginger are going to hold it down for the generational chain breaker program, which is our teen admission, and it's only $35. Now I'm challenging those of you that watch the video. I want you, if you know 4 young people, to just go ahead and sponsor 4 young people. Just sponsor a team.
Mm-hmm.
You can go right to Zelle. The Zelle information is info@legacyliveshere.org. And just sponsor a team. Even if you know someone that you would like to come, I'm telling you, $35, we spend $35. You can sponsor a team. I would love to see even more teens than adults in the room,
Then
just
adults.
because
Me
it
too.
will give us such a overwhelming feeling of joy about what the future looks like. And so I'm asking for those of you that can look at a beautiful room that we're going to have. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to fill this room up with hungry
Yes.
young people who will excel and know that legacy lives in their heart, that legacy lives in their mind, and that they can start to be generational chain breakers as well. So we're looking forward to it, Glenn. Thank you so much for everything.
Absolutely.
We want to see you there. We want to see you register. We want your face in the place, and you can go ahead and meet us, and we can't wait to meet you.
Awesome. Thank you guys
All
so
that
much.
good stuff that she just said. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to
I'm
it for
looking
sure.
forward to it.
See, Glenn, you got what you needed. It wasn't hard, right? You should have already known when you put fire and ice.
Period.
Yeah.
We got it.
Fire and ice. That's what I'm talking about.
We love it. We love it.
So thank you guys for joining tonight. Ladies, you were always, as they say, fire and ice. I'm not sure who's fire, who's ice here, but I'm not gonna say. I already have an idea. I already know who brings the heat. So I'm just gonna say that. All right, so everyone today, bring a fire truck because y'all gonna come blazing the place, and y'all sure did blaze a fire. So guys,
Absolutely.
thank you for tonight. This is all about generational wealth. As you can see, the swagware is also available for sale. Generational chain breaker. Don't remember every chain, everything that's purchased goes towards sponsoring a child, especially. So do take care, guys. Have a wonderful evening and take care.
Bye.
Good night.